Welcome back, everyone. It's your boy Double D. I thought I'd give you a quick video today, just giving you my thoughts on Wizards of the Coast removing the term race from 1D&D, the next edition of D&D, which is currently in playtest. Oh boy, huh? What a powder keg. This is their statement just a couple of days ago. And other guys have covered it like OGGM, but I figured now I would just kind of give my 2 cents for what it's worth. You can see here, D&D has a history of evolving to meet the needs of our players and foster an inviting space for everyone. It actually doesn't have a history of evolving to meet the needs of the players. They've evolved it rules-wise, but I don't recall any sort of social engineering being done before this this latest iteration. With that in mind, we understand race is a problematic term. There's that problematic term that has prejudiced links between real-world people and the fantasy peoples of D&D worlds. They go on to say that in the next Unearthed Arcana, containing playtest materials for 1D&D, they're presenting a replacement for the term race, and that is species. They made the decision to move on from using the term race everywhere in 1D&D, and they don't intend to return to that term. Oh boy, it's like the knights who say "ni" can't say the forbidden word. The term species was chosen in close coordination with multiple outside cultural consultants. In the survey for this Unearthed Arcana playlist, which will go live on December 21st, players will be able to give feedback on the term species along with everything else present in the playtest material. Well, you may be able to give feedback on it, but do you honestly think that they're going to listen to the word of their players over the almighty cultural consultants, which I just did a video on one of them a couple videos ago? Yeah, so you will have no say into whether they're making a mistake here. This is their policy going forward. What is your boy Double D's thoughts on this? I actually think it's probably the right thing for the wrong reason. So I will elaborate on that a little bit. All right, so if this and this are separate species, then how could this and this also not be separate species? It's probably even more than a separate species. I don't know, different genus. I'm not a biology major by any stretch. Maybe one of you guys in the comments can set me right there. But obviously, they're not the same race. They're a different species altogether at the very least. So technically speaking, I agree that species is a more proper term. And maybe if it had been set up that way from the start, nobody would even be thinking about this. But we are where we are. And, we have a large segment of the gaming population, and that's kind of dismaying to know. But they think that this and this are the same. And what do you do with those people? I don't know. Only an insane person would think these two things are the same. But I did a video on Connie Chang, and she comes out and says orcs are stand-ins for black people, Asian people, Jewish people, blah, 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 blah. So this was probably coming at some point. And yeah, it is technically the right decision. But that doesn't mean that they're not doing it because they are a company full of cowards. It's ironic that they are caving to the very people who caused the problem. And maybe they know it and they just can't do anything about it. I'm sure everybody has actual different races in their D&D worlds. I know I certainly do with Birthright. There's the Kenazi, who are kind of Middle Eastern. the Voss, who are kind of like Slavic. The Rajorik, like a Viking, Anglo-Saxon people. And I even put in my campaign, across the sea, there's a stand-in for Africa, essentially, populated by darker skinned people. So, yeah, it is better that we're technically referring to different races as races. Well, no, you can't even actually do that now, can you? They've banned the term race. So if you have a different race, a different human race, for the most part, I would imagine, although I'm sure Elvish and Dwarven races are also possible. But apparently you can't even make a distinction anymore between races amongst humans. I hadn't even thought of that until I was talking it out here. That's insane. They're banning the term. They will not use it. But it does come into play. Wow. Oh well. It's a cowardly decision, probably a technically correct one, but that doesn't mean it's going to appease anybody. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are they completely off base? Do you agree with me that it's probably an okay decision from a technical perspective, but the reasoning behind it is just so cowardly that it loses all meaning. And they certainly were doing it for the asspats, right? That's Wizards of the Coast for you these days. They are they are a long way away from the company that introduced 3rd edition to the world. So I'll let you guys go. You guys have a great, great weekend. And we will catch up with you very, very soon. Take care.
What qualifies you to be a U.S. Senator? You have 60 seconds.
Hi, good night, everybody.